Hello, welcome to EzDRAWZ. I'm Ez, and today I'm drawing James Sunderland from Silent Hill 2. Boogity 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 clickety clackety clay clay. Too much? Yeah, too much. Trying to get comfortable. Boop. Right, so first off thing that you see over here, if you look, is the picture I used as reference. I wanted to use a fairly recognizable picture of old James because his style, his design was made specifically to be sort of the everyman. So he doesn't have that really cool Japanese video game design, so he doesn't really stand out much. So I wanted to use a pose that would be recognizable by fans. I also kind of want to illustrate the point, no pun intended, that using reference isn't a bad thing. A lot of people tend to say, oh, if you use reference you're an idiot, you need to draw everything out of your head. Nothing could be further from the truth. Reference only makes your pictures better. Over here I'm just measuring the head lengths. I've tried all the head lengths under the sun, and my favorite is still 6 head lengths for a Disney cartoony kind of style, but that's really personal preference. That's really up to you. I've been chewed out about the 6 head lengths thing. Head lengths, what a tongue twister. And you'll see I'm taking the pose as in the reference, and I'm just pushing it a little bit further. It's kind of like when animators work with what a time to be stuck on this one. Rotoscoping. Even when you use rotoscoping, you can't just trace the actions of the character as shown in live action footage and hope that it'll translate well into a cartoon. It's just not going to work. You need to add a few accents, you need to push it a bit further, and exactly the same applies to illustration and drawing when you're drawing cartoon characters. I'm just really refining the contours of this because you'll see later I'm really gonna be hammering on the silhouette of the character. Not right now. Right now I don't care. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just really trying to figure out what I want to do with the picture. Flipping the canvas, always a good idea. And I'm just trying to figure out the dimensions of the character here, getting him into a 3D space. You'll see I erased the shoulder there because the shoulder's going to be in front of the body, which I think I sort of drew it in, but now it's just a bit clearer. The lines of his jacket. And you'll see I'm going to be struggling with this quite a bit. I don't want his jacket to flare out too much, otherwise it's going to look like a dress. And nothing against guys who wear dresses, but James Sunderland isn't exactly that kind of guy. I don't want him to look too feminine. He's a pretty masculine guy. If you know anything about the creatures and the monsters in the game, he's singular-minded. And now what I'm doing is I'm taking the rough sketch and I'm just refining the features a bit closer to what I want it to be in the final drawing. So I'm trying to nail down the expression I want him to have. James Sunderland is a tough character because he doesn't really have facial expressions in the game proper. He does, but you can't really see it. The render isn't really high enough quality. I only played it on PlayStation 2. If it looks any better on PC, I know the HD collection doesn't look much better, but you know, either way, can't really see his expressions too much. So I was trying to go with a sort of a determined kind of look, because this is one determined guy. Just doing the lapels of his shirt here. And I'm using the lines of the jacket to show dimension, trying to get that roundness there. And trying to get some really graphic looking folds in his shirt. You'll see his shirt is a little bit tucked in. I'm still flaring that jacket out a little bit too much. You guys will see I'm going to fix that. And again, still drawing the sleeves of his jacket in a real cylindrical kind of way, just to show dimension. I'm sort of freestyling his hands here. A big confession, I have no idea how to draw hands. I'm faking it until I figure it out. And I'm doing the same over here, well, not the same as the hands, but the same as the sleeves of his coat. With the pants, I'm using the folds as an opportunity to show the cylindrical form of the leg, to show dimension. And this one leg that I'm busy on right now, you guys are going to see, I'm going to have all my days with this leg, because it's just, I mean, now that I look at it, it looks pretty okay. But I was annoyed by how straight it looked. Because you guys will see I'm deviating from the pose quite a bit now, that reference pose over there. I don't know why, I just wanted a more top-down kind of angle. He's on Silent Hill, for crying out loud. It's a scary pose. You kind of, that's just another thing about illustrating, is the angle that you choose. If you choose a sort of like a top-down angle, the subject looks like it's being looked down upon, and the subject feels a little small and helpless. And I just wanted a bit of that in there, but I wanted his pose to still seem a little bit defiant and determined. And goodbye reference image, and hello adjusting that leg. So I'm using a lot of things, transform tool and everything, just using the digital format here to my advantage. If this were on paper, I would have just erased it and drawn it again. Much in the same way, because every time I lighten a layer, that's sort of like what I would do with a pencil, just lightening it up with the kneaded or putty eraser. I'm gonna change the direction of the foot now. It's gonna look like he's clown dancing. And I was like, no. I'm just trying to figure it out. I think it was about this time that I've noticed his hands looked a little bit too big. And that leg looks even straighter now. So now I'm gonna just redraw it completely. Trying to get more angles in there instead of just the straight lines. You should try not to have too many straight lines in a drawing. Try to keep it dynamic, especially in a cartoon drawing. I mean, it depends. If you're drawing a building, straight lines are the best. The best, okay. But, I mean, anything but that, ooh. And now I'm just trying to figure out the folds, because the only thing that I can draw, because I draw so many Victorian characters, is like, you know, normal suit trouser pants, you know? Well, trouser pants, that's a tautological thing to say, but I don't know how to draw jeans, so if you guys look at his jeans, it's kind of drawn like suit pants, and I should probably take responsibility for that, but I don't care. Just turning the figure over there, because he kind of looked like he was about to fall over. Balance in a figure is an important thing that you figure out. Ooh, said figure twice. You learn it as you go. The more you draw, the more you find out, what makes a character looks like they're about to fall over. I'm taking a smaller brush right now. I hope you guys can notice that I'm not using any brushes that have any kind of opacity jitter, is what you call it in Photoshop. This is Clip Studio Paint. I don't know what they call it here. I don't even know how to set it. But I'm using a very opaque brush. Very solid brush. And it's just, you'll see it's called a textured pen tool. Really nothing fancy to it. I just like the texture that it gives. It feels more like a pencil to me. But, I mean, you guys, you use what you want to use. People are always asking me, what are your brush settings? What are your brush settings? It doesn't matter. It never matters. Just do whatever looks good. Well, I mean, obviously you think the brush that I use looks good and you're trying to find out what it is. You know what? Never mind. I just kind of shot myself in the foot. I'm just refining his features with a finer brush, and you guys will see with every step, this is the final step before I start the neat outline. And then I'm going to use the finest brush, and I tend to do this in pencil as well. Just keep an eye on the hair there. I make sure that the tufts aren't uniform. No two tufts are sort of like the same size next to each other or the same shape. I try to vary it as much as possible. Now here's a little tip. I spent a lot of time on the face, being really neat with the face, but now that I'm at the body, I'm just kind of, I want to say I'm wailing on the body a bit. This is because the face and the eyes, these are the most important things in a drawing when you're drawing characters, and the second most important thing, I would say, and hey, I ain't no expert. Ooh, this is the part where I'm sorry to interrupt myself here, but this is the part where I'm going to struggle with the coat flaring out too much like a dress. See, I'm tightening it in even more, because if you want a really masculine character, whether it's male, female, or anything in between, if you want a masculine character, you need to use straight lines and angles. Now, I know I said don't use straight lines, but take that in the context of not using straight lines. if that makes any sense. Don't make the lines too straight, but use more straight lines instead of round lines and curves when drawing a masculine character, and you'll see results. But yeah, I just interrupted myself something. But yes, most important thing about a character drawing would be the face and the head area, and the second most important one is the general feel of the character's gesture. The way that the character is using his or her body to emote, to show what they're doing, to show what they're thinking, their state of mind. So the details like the exact clothing folds and those things, these things add to the believability and solidity of a drawing, you know, as a whole. But it's more important to get that overall gesture down. Trying to keep that coat looking all 3D. Ah, shoes! I have no idea how to draw shoes. I have been freestyling it ever since I can remember. I have never been bothered to learn. So you guys will see I'll be fumbling and I'll be doing scratchy lines and trying to figure out what the heck is going on there. It's a lot of fun. It's fun, guys. It just goes to show you don't need to be able to know exactly how to draw everything. If you can copy a shape, and I mean, look at that thumb. That thumb looks ridiculous. But when I'm gonna zoom out and I'm gonna do the final one, you're barely gonna notice it, because you're gonna look at his face, first of all, and you're gonna look at his general gesture to try and figure out we're human beings. These are things we look at sort of like in order of when you notice someone. You're gonna look at body language before you look at, oh, this person has dirty nails. My source for this is the internet, so take it with a grain of salt. And even here, look at me, I'm deviating from the guidelines. I have no idea how to draw hands. Are you kidding me? Look at those hands. Look at me just freestyling. I should not be, I'm not the kind of person who should say freestyling. And there I'm making the hands smaller. And just sort of repositioning them. Remember, a hand should be about the size of a character's face. But I didn't take my own advice here, I wouldn't say. I just didn't care. And that's the point, you're supposed to have fun. I don't spend too much time focusing on any one detail ever. Ooh, trying to make the head bigger and seeing it doesn't work. And going back to the original. There you go, Ez. Good job. I try not to focus on the details too much. It's about having fun. It's about just getting the general idea of the drawing across. I ain't no Michelangelo, I ain't no Raphael, I ain't no Ninja Turtle. I'm not gonna make this stuff super detailed, super anatomically correct. What I want is for people to see, oh hey, it's James Sunderland, and he's sort of looking at something, and he's ready for action. Ah, now this is my favorite part. I decided I was gonna try and see what the drawing would look like if I drew him with the great knife. And those of you guys who have played this Silent Hill 2, you'd know Pyramid Head has the great knife for a while, and then James finds the great knife, and then Pyramid Head doesn't have the great knife anymore. Now, that creates a plot hole for idiots like me, because I missed the great knife on my playthrough. I didn't find it. I was too busy running away from Pyramid Head. So this is kind of my love letter to the great knife that I missed in my playthrough. I'd love to go back and try it again, but I don't know, I feel like it might be too tedious, because I don't have the director's cut or the greatest hits version. I just have the vanilla version, so I wouldn't be able to increase my ammo or anything like that. It would be tedious to play the game again. But at least I'd have the chainsaw, right? I don't know. Anyway, to the people who haven't played the game, I'm just really trying out to see what the drawing would look like in general. Now, as you can see, what's happening is, and this was a concern for me, the great knife that he's holding is intersecting over at his crotch area, which is which is kind of, it suits the character quite well considering the themes of the story. But anyway, basically what's happening is it's clouding the, no pun intended on big swords, eh? It's clouding the overall silhouette of the figure of the character. And I'm just sitting here and I'm trying to reposition it so that it's still clear that this is a guy with 2 legs, not 3. If that, woo, ha, ha, that sounds dirty, but sorry, it's the theme of the game, I'm sorry. So I'm just trying to remedy that. And it's not working, I keep trying to reposition it, it's not working. But I've already decided, hey, I love what this looks like with the great knife. But anyway, you guys will see later I'm gonna switch around the great knife and it's gonna make the silhouette look tons better. Alright, catch you next time. I'm starting off weak.
And going weaker from there.
Okay. 2 pyramid heads are standing atop a hill. One says, "Hey, so what are your plans for the weekend?" The other one goes, "Shh." You get it?
No. I don't get it.
They're on a hill and it's supposed to be silent.
Oh.
It's a silent hill. Is it good?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh.
Oh, it's so bad. I love it.
You love it. Okay.